If you're running Google or Facebook ads and you're getting leads for your business, but they're not closing, I'm going to dive into the three biggest reasons they're likely not closing, starting with the most common ones. Let's just dive right in. And the first one is there's just a low friction form. So, what do I mean by this? Check out this. This is what a lot of companies do. They want to get as many leads as possible. So, they say, hey, we'll have less fields for the user to actually fill in when they come to our website from an ad, but they just require something like this. It's like email and what is your name? There's no real pre-qualification. And so when you have no real pre-qualification, you are going to train the algorithm to just optimize for low quality leads. And when you have low quality leads, this is the reason why you get a ton of leads, but they're all very low quality. You've essentially trained Google or Facebook AI to optimize and get reinforced that they did a great job when in fact they didn't. They just got you potentially even a bot submission who's able to just auto apply or auto fill these two things. So, what does a good form look like? Well, the easiest way to tighten up the lead quality and to make sure that you actually get leads that turn into customers is to have pre-qualification. Yes, you are going to at first get lower volume of leads than you would on a form that I just mentioned, the one that just had two fields. But if you see this one, somebody has to actually fill out all these, which just from a time standpoint, they're going to be more qualified and bought in to actually fill this data out. Secondarily, what happens, and I know because I actually ran this business's advertising for quite some time, is once they submit, let's just say you have pre-qualification filters, meaning that you're not going to tell Google that this was a conversion unless they meet certain criteria. So for example, this firm could only work with users who are 10 plus. And so let's just say your company can only work with businesses if they filled this out and they were 10 plus users, good lead. If somebody filled something out underneath the 10 plus users, well, you're going to send them to a different thank you page and they're not going to fire as a conversion in Google or Facebook ads. And so you're not going to train the algorithm that they're doing a good job when they're not. You're only going to fire a conversion on this. And then what Google Ads is going to know is they need to optimize for people based on the millions of psychographic data points that they have. They need to bid higher in auction on people who are connected to a 10 plus user firm in this case, right? But the principle stands regardless of what vertical you're in. You need people and you need to reinforce Google Ads that they're doing a good job when they're actually doing a good job. But the way you do that is you need to pre-qualify users who are filling out the form on your website. So make sure you actually have fields on your website, on your form fill, that pre-qualify people. You want to make sure that you're telling Google Ads when somebody's actually doing a good job. Secondarily, you may have poor targeting, and this is more so an issue with Google than Facebook, but they both still exist, and I'll talk about both scenarios. So Google Ads, poor targeting, what this could look like is you're using very loose match types on your keywords, and you may be targeting one thing, but your ad is actually being triggered for something completely unrelated than what you're aware of, especially if you're not checking your search terms report in Google Ads, and you're getting conversions on that thing, and it's never leading to a sale. And so doing a thorough audit of your search term report in Google Ads can save you a lot of time. Cleaning up your match types can save you a lot of time. And then just in general, doing an audit of the actual keywords you're targeting in Google Ads per ad group will save you a lot of time and headache and probably be the unlock in understanding why are my leads not closing when I get them from Google Ads. On the Facebook ad side of things, the most common reason that leads aren't closing is people are running an in-platform lead generation campaign. And so this is where people don't have to leave Facebook ads. They just click your ad and the form pops up, the native form on Facebook pops up, and they have, again, very low qualification filters on there, very little amount of fields, and they don't require SMS verification. When you don't require SMS verification on those forms, you're going to get a ton of junk leads. Again, a lot of times they're bot leads. And then secondarily, the other part of why leads don't close on Facebook or why you get a lot of leads, but none of them are really quality, is because your ad creative, the creative is the targeting on Facebook ads, and you're not talking to the pain points that your customer profile is facing. You're not talking about what it is you're solving for them or why they should reach out to you. And so again, you have a targeting problem because the targeting is done at the creative level, not manually targeting the specific audience. And so make sure you tighten up your form fills, your creative on Facebook, and you'll get better leads. And then last but not least, this is something outside of an advertiser's control. This is completely a business function to be able to actually close these leads at a higher rate. And that is follow up. I just did this with a client in January where we get about 800 to 900 leads a month. And they were getting we've been working together for almost 2 years now, and they were getting a very low conversion rate on lead to sale. But we know nothing changed in our ad account. And so what we actually did is we diagnosed their follow-up process. And from December of 2025 to January of 2026, it was taking them almost an additional 30 minutes to follow up with these leads. And so we figured out why, and there was a couple reasons from an organization standpoint as to why. And that was why lead quality was dropping off. It was because the leads were growing colder and colder and colder. And so if your team is not following up with leads generated from Google or Facebook ads, within the first 5 minutes, that lead is growing insanely cold, and your likelihood to close them or for them to be a qualified lead after that point severely diminishes every minute over minute. So if you tighten up these 3 things, I promise you're going to get better quality leads and you're actually going to close revenue, and ads is going to work for you. So hope this helps. As always, let me know if you guys have any questions. Happy to do an audit of anything that you guys are running as well. Let me know. Hope this helps. Thank you.